Yo, what is up? Hey, I'm back. It's your boy FinTech with CB83A coming to you for another banger of a show. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hey, give me the thumbs up if my mic is good, if everybody can hear me. I appreciate everybody popping in to say what's up. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you. Who was in here first? Shout out to the homie Aqua in here first. He says, hello, chat. Shout out to the homie, one of the day ones in the building. Let's get it cracking for the homie one time for the one time. Yes, sir. Shout out to the homie Aqua in the chat. He says, how about the Bills and those PED suspensions? So the Bills apparently signed 2 free agents that are facing 2 6-game suspensions for PED. So that's pretty interesting to hear that the Bills are signing players who are on the juice and who are juicing. So shout out to them for always keeping it funky. And I'm looking forward to our offseason and the Miami Dolphins trying to retool this thing, trying to rebuild and trying to compete right against the Buffalo Bills and compete against the big dogs in the AFC. Like the Bills, the Ravens, the Chiefs. So shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you guys coming through. Let's get this thing cracking. Shout out to the homie Aqua in the building. Finn's Posse podcast is in here. If y'all don't, hey, y'all better do yourselves a favor. Go check his stuff out. Shout out to the homie Big C. He may be dropping through a little later to talk some Miami Dolphins. I appreciate the homie coming through. Hey, punch that like button, subscribe. Do it over there as well, man. We got 10 in the building right now. Punch that like button, subscribe, and let's get this thing cracking. Shout out to the homie Mudbone in the building. Mudbone, one of the day oneers, man. It's good to see the day oneers like pop in here and show love, the members gang. I appreciate that. Do y'all, hey, do we get this thing cracking today?
I hope so.
Okay. Hey, we gonna get this thing cracking today. Shout out to the homie Mudbone for coming through and popping in. I appreciate you, bro. Sir, look at Miss Relentless in the building. I see you. Fins up. Hey, Red, White, and Bills is here. He says, what the F is up, CB? What's good with you, Red, White, and Bills? Hey, what that offseason looking like, man? Why y'all signing dudes who juicing, man? What's up with y'all boys, man? Tighten up, Red, White, and Bills. Tighten up, dog. Tighten up. Mudbone says, what's good? Pittsburgh Dolphin, the members gang is in the building. I appreciate you coming through. One of the day oneers, one of the members gang in the building. We got to go up for the homie one time for the one time. Let's get it. Hey, this is how the members gang walk in the building. Here we go. Hey, we back. We are back, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got 15 watching. Punch that like button on your way in. Vamos Gatos in the building. The homie in real life. What's good with you, my boy? It says CB83 and everyone. Fins up. Marino's GOAT is in here. What's good with you? DG Live is in the building. What's good with you? Miss Relentless. Hey, Dre in the building, huh? Hey, shout out to the homie Dre, man. Had an addition to the family. I see you, bro. I see you. I know you've been busy. It's all right. The community ain't balanced unless Dre is around. Dre, you gotta be around more often. I know you got a lot going on, but we need you in the building, bro. And yeah, hey, you damn right. It's still Tua Leroy, man. Stop playing with my boy. Stop playing with him.
All right, Leroy. Who's the one and only master? I am. Oh, God damn. Let me go, motherfucker. Let me go. Oh.
Hey Dre, show enough. You already know what time it is, man. It's still Tua Leroy, man. My dog coming back this year. You're gonna make splashes, man. Hey, comeback player of the year. I'm calling it. Pete already called it. Pete already said it. Pete said 2025 comeback player of the year, Tua Tagovailoa. That boy gonna get us in the playoffs, get us a playoff win, lead us to a playoff win, right? um and go get this thing, man. But yeah, let's get into it. My man, Mr. Lindsay says not TD. You know I had to put TD on there. Come on. Do you know I had to put the Wolfpack? Shout out to the Wolfpack. Hey, the Wolfpack is in here watching. I appreciate you guys coming through as well. Oh, the Wayne D experience in here. We got all the homies in here. What's good with you, Wayne D? We got the Wolfpack in here. Wolfpack, I know y'all watching in the background. Do me a favor, punch that like button or hit the dislike button. Don't be scared to jump in this chat. Scare money don't make money. If you want these takes, get these crybaby takes out right now so I can address them. I want to hear the crybaby takes. We need to blow it up. Oh, two is not good enough. Oh, what are Miami Dolphins doing? Oh, they're not making enough moves. Oh, they don't do this. Oh, they don't do that. Oh, I'm a crybaby, and that's all I do is cry about the Miami Dolphins. Let's hear it. Get in the chat now. I want to address it. I gotta address it. Shout out to the homie Wayne D. Says good to see you, CB. Good to see you too, Wayne D. Man, I miss y'all. I miss y'all for real, man. Like when I say I miss y'all for real. That's why I had to come live, see what y'all got going on. It's been a while since y'all crunk up and talked about the Miami Dolphins. But let's get into the Miami Dolphins free agency. And honestly, I want to do a free agency review and just kind of talk about some of the signings, right? And the Miami Dolphins weren't super active in free agency by any means, right? They weren't super active, but they did make some key signings, right? And when we look at some of the signings and we look at what the Miami Dolphins are trying to do, um, they're trying to do what's best for the team, right? And I know there's a lot of people who are saying that, hey, they're not making enough moves or they're not addressing specific areas that we'd like to see addressed. They brought back Liam Eichenberg. That was the huge thing was the Liam Eichenberg, bringing back Liam Eichenberg. Now, Liam Eichenberg, he's not a great player by any means, right? Not a great player by any means. Is he a serviceable backup for the Miami Dolphins? Yes, I think he's a serviceable option as a backup for the Miami Dolphins for sure, right? Liam Eichenberg has played everywhere on the offensive line, center, guard, tackle. And when it comes to being a backup in the NFL, you need a guy who's versatile, like a Liam Eichenberg, right? Especially when you can get him at a cheap price, especially when he's been here and he knows the system, right? I can understand people being upset if we get to this point during the year and Liam Eichenberg is a starter for the Miami Dolphins. Then we are going to be looking around like, damn, this is the same thing all over again. But I don't think the Miami Dolphins brought Liam Eichenberg back to be a starter on this coming year, on this roster this coming year, right? I don't think he's expected to be a starter this upcoming season. So with that being said, I'm not upset with the re-signing of Liam Eichenberg. And Wayne D said he's trash at every position. And honestly, I don't think Liam Eichenberg is trash at every position. I just think so when we look at the percentage of plays, 60% of the time he's going to be in the right area, kind of doing the right thing, right? He may not be doing a great job at doing it, but he's going to get to where he needs to be, right? Now, the other 40% of the time, Liam Eichenberg is on the ground, getting beat, out of position, slow feet, not getting across guys' faces, and he's getting beat, right? So I can understand, because honestly, that comes down to consistency, and you really want guys who are going to win more often than they lose, right? 60% is getting very close to 50-50, right? And I think if you have a guy that's 50-50, you can't I don't think that's something you can rely on, right? So I think Eichenberg is a great option as a backup, great serviceable backup, but he's definitely not a starter and shouldn't be the starter this upcoming season for the Miami Dolphins. So I can understand people being upset about it, but I understand where the Miami Dolphins are at. You get a cheap backup. Probably he's better than some of the backups you would have got in free agency at that price, for sure. Right. And he knows the system. He's been here. And it seems like people like him. I think that's a big part of it that, people don't consider too, is that the Miami Dolphins, the organization, has a relationship with Eichenberg. We look at it from the outside in, and we're just thinking based on performance. Like he's bad. People say he's trash, right? But the Miami Dolphins coach, the coaching staff, the organization have a relationship with him, and since you have a relationship with him, and you want to continue to build that, you feel like you can continue to develop him, you bring him back, right? And that's why they did it. Now, a lot of people won't have these conversations with you. They'll just say, "Oh, he's trash, and we shouldn't have brought him back." I don't think that's fair to have that type of conversation because you got to look at it from all angles. And that's just my thoughts on it. Cap says, Eichenberg, baby. Shout out to Cap for Life in the building, man. I see y'all in here. We got 33 in the building. Punch that like button for your boy. Fins fan 7 is in the building. He says, we are the worst franchise in the NFL. No way, no how that we are the worst franchise in the NFL. No way. If you think we're the worst franchise in the NFL, you haven't done much looking outside of the box that you're in. The Miami Dolphins are probably mid-tier, right? We aren't top tier. We're mid-tier. And we're on the verge of being in that top tier. We can find a way to win games. And that's kind of I think the free agency approach that the Miami Dolphins are taking, right? I did a poll on X, and I'm actually going to pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. So I did a poll on X the other day, and I was, throughout the week, I listen to Spaces. I listen to other people's content. I check everybody out. But I was hearing a lot of crying and complaining about the Miami Dolphins in their current state. So I put up a poll, and I wanted to show you guys this poll. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put it on the screen for you. Present. Man, a lot has changed, and a lot has changed in StreamYard. This is new. A lot of this stuff is new to me. So, and I'm gonna zoom this in. Let's see here. See if I can zoom it in. Can we see that? All right, so this is me on X, and I want you guys to see this. It says lots of bad narratives out there right now regarding the Miami Dolphins. I hear a lot of woofing, but no one is providing legitimate solutions for the team. I'm hearing blow it up. That's what I was hearing. Blow it up, start over, do it all over again. Is that really the answer? We'll discuss soon. And I want to discuss this before we get into talking about free agency and the players we picked up. Now, and I tagged a bunch of people on it. I had over 100 people vote on it. Now we're looking at the results of it, right? Now, the options are blow it up, start over, be bad for the next 4 to 5 years, and try to figure it out and do it all over again, right? That's what a rebuild is. It's blowing the shit up, right? So blowing it up, starting it over, right? Now, adding pieces, we're close was an option, right? And I like the thought of this. That's just me, because I feel like the Dolphins are close. I think when Tua is healthy and he's on the field and everybody else is on the field, I think the Miami Dolphins are very close and can beat anybody in the NFL on any given week. Now, have we shown that consistently? No, we haven't shown that consistently, right? And that's, partly my gripe with the Dolphins is that they aren't a consistent football team. It's not the same thing week in and week out from a preparation, from a playing standpoint. That's my gripe, and that's partly a lot of my gripe is with Mike McDaniel and his system and the way he runs his ship, right? So adding pieces were close with 64% of the vote. So, and maybe people who are more logical follow me on Twitter. Um, I mean, people have who they like, right? Um, I think 64% of people saying add pieces were close. I think that's reasonable. And I think people understand that. And the poll shows that. And then there's 17% of people who say we can't win with Tua. So we're looking at about 34% of people saying that, hey, we can't do this. We can't win with Tua. We can't win with this team. And then we have 64% of people saying, hey, let's just continue to build the team. We're close. So interesting to see. I would like to get, you guys' thoughts. I don't know if you voted on the poll or not, but hey, let me know your thoughts in the chat. Would you blow it up, start over, add pieces, or do you think we're close? Do you think we're close? And I'm gonna catch up here in the chat while you guys do that. Scotty says Eichenberg is the worst O lineman in the NFL. He got absolutely no interest from 31 other teams. Eichenberg defenders as a backup are just hurt fans trying to ease the pain. And okay, I mean, I don't agree with you, but that's your statement. That's how you feel about it. But I don't agree. Shout out to the homie Big Nick in the building. He says 1.4 million to be eighth or ninth, and y'all mad. Learn your team, please. And Big Nick, bro, he got 1.4 million to be the eighth or ninth offensive lineman. I think that's fair. I think that's more than fair, right? Even if he doesn't, I'm hoping he doesn't see the field. I think he's a good depth piece in the event that we need him. DG Live says Liam Eichenberg about to make Tua retired. Damn, he doing him like that, DG. Crazy. That's wild. Scotty says bring Eichenberg back is utterly indefensible. Okay. Utterly indefensible. If he sees the field, I think you have a gripe. I don't think you can make that argument yet. Fins fan 7 says and we still have camp. We still have a lot of time to go. So even if Eichenberg is back on the roster, there's no guarantee that he makes it on the team, right? He's on the team right now, but there's no guarantee that he makes it on the final roster. So these guys are a bit they're panicking early. Definitely panicking early. Fins fan 7 says as long as Tua is a QB, we don't have a chance. Okay, I disagree. I wholeheartedly disagree. And it's okay to disagree with people. It is okay to disagree with people. That's fair. He's terrible, CB. It's all a pride thing with Chris Grier, with this guy, man. Honestly, so Eichenberg isn't great, but he's had some good snaps. And that's the thing y'all won't say. Eichenberg has played he's played thousands of snaps for the Miami Dolphins. Thousands. And I want you guys to see me while I say this. He's played thousands of snaps for the Dolphins. You guys will take out the bad snaps and say he's terrible, which is fair. But you also have to go look at the good plays that he made. Because I don't think y'all consider that. And that's the thing about y'all. A lot of y'all be in y'all feelings, but y'all won't put on the tape. You won't put on film to show me that he can't get it done over the series of a game. I can go pull up film of Armstead getting beat like a drum all game. I can go pull up film of Austin Jackson getting beat like a drum at times, right? I can go pull up film of who is the other Patrick Paul, the young guy getting beat. Like there's plenty. I can pull up film of everybody getting beat. Eichenberg has been bad, but for him to be the eighth or ninth offensive line, I'm not tripping over that. I can't trip about that, especially at the price, right? Scotty says the argument you just presented is you just tried to justify it to yourself. It was nothing valid. Sorry. Okay. No playoff wins in 25 years. You're correct. Right? You're correct. Is that on? what does that mean to me? Tell me, give me some context behind it. What's the highest O-line ranking we've had since Tua's been QB? That's a good question. I would say probably mid-tier. I would say between 10 and 10 and 15 is probably the highest we've had as far as offensive line goes. That's a good question. I would be interested to see, what that looks like if somebody looked it up. Um, I don't think we've had an offensive line in the top 10 since Tua's been a QB. I think we've had the offensive line in the top 10 at times during stretches of time, but guys didn't stay healthy and it just didn't end up working out because that was the case. Um, my bro Ricky says, "My brother, much love. Look at your phone real quick." Oh shit, let me see. Oh, congrats, my boy. There we go. Shout out to the homie Riggy, man, who just added a new addition to the family. I'm not gonna put the pics up on here, Riggy, but shout out to you. I appreciate it. My boy sent me pics of the birth of the baby. I see you. Hey, boy or girl, Riggy? Boy or girl? I think it's when baby's small like that, it'd be hard to tell. But shout out to you, bro. I really appreciate the pictures and celebrate the new addition. Kids are a blessing. My kids are running around here somewhere. And honestly, guys, I haven't been live just because I've been running around with my kids, my son. There's been a lot going on, but we figured it out. We're back now. Cat for Life in the building says reload now or rebuild next. I'm with reload now. I like it. Let's rebuild it. Frozen Fin Fan in the building says we're building smart with option to blow everything up completely next year. I like it. And Frozen Fin Fan, I appreciate you coming through, man. I think he has a channel too. Check his channel out. Support his channel. Let me Finn's Posse Podcast. Support his channel. Be sure to like and subscribe over there. I'm gonna get him on soon, and then we're gonna continue to talk about the Miami Dolphins. Dre says, as long as we have a Tua, we have a chance. That's what I'm talking about, Dre. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, sir, man. Dre, you got it together, bro. You know what you do. Hey, you do know what you're talking about. Gene CIV says Liam is for sure fifth string. Liam is best at center. Okay, I like it. Dre says Eichenberg is not good, but if he's a backup, I don't care. He's a backup, bro. Like, why y'all care if he's a backup? He's a backup. Glenn in the building says, can you I produce yourself to us? Can you? No, you mean can I introduce myself? This CB83. Stop playing, Glenn. Stop playing, man. He says we're not sure who you are. Glenn, support the channel, bro. Support the channel. We got 60 in the building watching right now. Punch that like button. Keep him away from guard and tackle. He said, Drake keeping it real with y'all today. Y'all don't want to hear it, but Drake keeping it super real with y'all in the chat. Y'all better wake up, smell the coffee, put some Folgers in your cup. It says backup linemen almost all suck, and that's true. So Eichenberg, do your thing from the bench, bro. Ask the informed people which game Liam cost the Dolphins, and will he make the team? And that's a good question. They can't, bro. These people who say Liam's trash and that he can't do anything are the same ones. Look, the Miami Dolphins. People said Liam was trash, and then the Miami Dolphins had a crazy stretch where they were like the top 10 offensive line in the league. Then Austin Jackson got hurt, and everything with the shambles. Other guys got hurt too, but that's here or there, right? Liam Eichenberg during that stretch played well, but people won't acknowledge that. Like, that's just the way people are. It's weirdo behavior. Don't be a casual. Says the best O-line is when we had Connor Williams at center and then Hunt. They were solid. Hey, there we go. Another girl Fin fans. That's what I'm talking about, bro. We got another girl Fin fans. Shout out to the homie Ricky who just had another baby girl. There we go. Hey, shout out to the homie. Hey, Burgos in the building. Can Grier piece it together? Last chance for Tua. Shout out to the homie A Burgos becoming a member for 4 more months. Shout out to him, man. Y'all punch that like button, subscribe to the channel, become a member, donate. I appreciate you, homie. Y'all already know how we get down. Let's go. Yes, sir. Shout out to the homie A Burgos in the building. S. Harris in the building. Hey, let's go ahead and get this thing cracking. Hey, Big C is here. We are live. What is up, my dude? What's going on, man?
What up? What up? What up?
Hey,
How you doing today, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right till you start talking that Eichenberg crap.
Hey, tell me your feelings on Eichenberg, man. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Listen, brother. Listen, you can be a Dolphins fan, support this team, and I respect that. But just because you're a Dolphins fan doesn't mean you gotta support every move they make. Every move is not the right move, and Eichenberg coming back to this team is not the right move. We had better backup options coming from our own team. Isaiah Wynn for one.
Oh yeah. But are you gonna get Isaiah Wynn for 1.4 though?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Isaiah Wynn ain't gonna cost no more than Eichenberg, and he's a way better option.
I think if they had the option to bring back Isaiah Wynn instead of Eichenberg at the same money, then they made a mistake. Wholeheartedly, they made a mistake. But I don't know if that's the case.
Contract. Look at the Zach Wilson contract. 1 year, $6 million. Zach Wilson has produced nothing on the field in his career. Does he have a rocket arm? Yeah, sure. But then you got Mac Jones, who signs a 2-year deal for $7.3 million. I would take Mac Jones over Zach Wilson all day.
I don't know. I think that's a toss-up. I think it's close. Honestly,
I think Mac Jones is the closest thing that you're going to get to Tua, and to run Mike McDaniel's offense, that's what you need. You need someone that has a similar skill set to Tua Tagovailoa.
And look, I agree with you there. And maybe you feel like you need somebody with a similar skill set, or maybe you feel like, hey, I need to go in a different direction just to see if something that I bring in that's different gives me a different element adds a different element to my offense. So I get what you're saying.
We had that last year with Tyler Huntley. We had a completely different quarterback than Tua Tagovailoa, and we were unable to produce.
Yeah, overall, we were unable to produce. He did have one game where he played well, but outside of that, and this is kind of my gripe with Mike McDaniel too, is that the backup quarterbacks are never really like ready for the moment, right? It doesn't matter who we put in there. The guys just haven't been ready for the moment. I mean, Tyler Huntley had one good game, but outside of that, Skylar Thompson and him together really have just kind of shit the bed in all the opportunities they had.
Well, the main reason for that is, CB, because you expect these backup quarterbacks to have a different skill set altogether than the starter to come in and run the starter's offense. That's why Mac Jones would be an easy transition. Mac
Big
Jones
C,
does the same similar things that the Tua.
But this is my pushback on that, right? You're still an NFL quarterback, bro. Like, this system ain't much different from playing football and anything else. Like, honestly, I don't see it being that crazy of a system outside of like the calls, the motions, like the cadences, stuff like that. Like, what is Tua really doing different from everybody else in the NFL? A lot of the offenses in the NFL are timing based, right? A lot of them are screens, bubble passes, stuff like that. Is Tua really doing something out of the ordinary? I just don't see that. And that's kind of my issue with it, is that people will say, oh, this guy doesn't fit bro, this shit is plug and play. Like, when we look at Kyle Shanahan's offense with the 49ers, he's literally plugged guys in and they've played well since he's been the coach there. It don't matter who he's played. Bethard, whoever they put in there, because they had a run where they went through like 3 different quarterbacks, but all of them played decent in the system. I don't think this is the type of system where you need a specific guy who has a specific skill set that does a specific thing. I think you just need a guy who's a good quarterback. And maybe they feel like Zach Wilson is a better quarterback than Tyler Huntley, Mac Jones, Skylar Thompson, and all
What's
these other
giving you
guys.
that impression? What has he done on the field that has given you that impression, though?
So when you go look at some of his rookie year and some of his like early time with the Jets, he's shown some flashes. He's had some moments. Now, when you put let's say this, let's preface this. When you have a good defense and you have good special teams and your offense can score a few touchdowns here and there, you're gonna have an opportunity to win every game as long as your defense is playing ball. And when we look at Zach Wilson and when he beat the Bills twice. So he's beat the Bills twice in his career. In those two games, I think the offense scored 21 or 22 points. But his defense shut him down. They held Josh Allen to like 17 points both games, 16 and 17 points. When you play defense like that, you're going to be able to win games. And that's where we need to be defensively. It's just be a better team. Don't let Josh Allen run up 30 points on your ass every time you play him. He's a division opponent. You see him twice a year. Like, you need to be able to shut him down one game. You need to be able to make it difficult for him one game. So I look at quarterbacks like, bro, get into the system and play, operate it, right? But you still got to play good defense behind it. Like, you're not going to be able to win nothing if you can't get stops, right? So that's just kind of my thoughts on it. And I know people are, up in arms about the Zach Wilson thing, but I think there's more to it. I think there's more to it than that. And I think Zach Wilson will be in a suitable backup for us. And I like him better than Mac Jones, to be completely honest with you. I like him better than Mac Jones. I think it's close, but I think he's a better quarterback than Mac Jones, in my opinion.
Close. If it's close, then why did he get a $6 million fully guaranteed 1-year deal and Mac got seven for 2? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even the numbers. If it was close, you go by the numbers. If we're bargain shopping, we're bringing back Eichenbergs and players of that nature. You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you bring back Mac? He's cheaper. That money could have been invested somewhere else. That extra $3 million could have been invested into a halfway defense halfway decent offensive lineman. You know what I mean?
Where did Mac end up going?
He went to San Francisco.
Okay. So he went to San Francisco.
Of course, because he's similar to Brock Purdy. And Shanahan realizes that. You know what I mean?
Right. So, and I hear what you're saying. I just feel like, quarterbacks have different reasons why they go places, and the organizations have different reasons of why they pay guys and choose not to pay other guys. I think they're looking at Zach Wilson like, bro, you might have to come in for Tua, and when you do come in for Tua, I want you to sit his ass down to where he doesn't come back. Maybe I don't know if Mac Jones can do that. Maybe he can, maybe he can't. But I think Zach Wilson gives you a better opportunity in the system to thrive, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. But let me get to this real quick. Shout out to the homie A. Burgos. He says the line will be make or break. Plenty of talent at skill positions, fam. And appreciate it. Hey, shout out to A. Burgos for the $25 donation. My boy is lighting it on fire right now. A. Burgos, I appreciate you. He says the line is make or break. And what's your thoughts on the offensive line thus far, Big C?
I mean, I think Daniels, if he comes in and he gets back to playing the way he was before the injury, that's a steal at $8 million a year. But it's a typical Dolphins move to go out and get the player coming off a major injury. I mean, it's a risk.
Yeah.
But other than that, I can't say I'm in love with the moves. I think we need to sign another decent guard. And now we put ourselves in a position that we almost certainly got to go defensive tackle in the first round because the cupboard's bare at free agency at this moment. I mean, who's left at defensive tackle in free agency? And yeah, there's another wave of free agency that will come. Maybe they're banking on Calais coming back. But still, we're bare there. We're bare along the offensive line as far as tackles go.
Okay, so you think we're bare along the offensive line? You think we need to add some depth there? Do you think we add some players in the draft? Do you think that's their approach at this point? Is, hey, let's go through the draft first, and then let's come back to free agency and revisit that after we go through the draft.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing that's got to be their game plan, is that they picked up the pieces that they picked up. They're gonna let the draft play out. They're gonna let players get released from other teams, and they're gonna go picking. They're gonna go rummage sailing from them group of players. But right now, we're so bare at defensive tackle and there's nobody left. There's really nobody left. You know what I mean? And we definitely need at least another guard.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think James Daniels is a good pickup. I do like the addition.
You hope that he's a good pickup. You hope.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, right? From what I've seen on film and what I've seen about him.
No, by film, he's fantastic. But film, you don't know what he looks like after the injury.
By film, he's an upgrade to what we had before, for sure, right? So he's definitely an upgrade to what we've seen. We don't know what the injury history, we don't know what that's going to look like. But right now, he's an upgrade for the Miami Dolphins offensive line, right? Now we still have Austin Jackson, we still have Brewer, we still have Armstead possibly coming back. We have an Eichenberg. I know you guys hate that, but we got other guys too, and I think we picked up another tackle. Who was the other guy's name? Borum or something like that?
Yeah, he was terrible at tackle if he's not moving in the guard, then that was a waste to pick up.
Right, so we picked him up from the Bears, I think. Picked him up from the Bears, and supposedly he played tackle, he played guard, had a rough go of it at tackle. Maybe the Miami Dolphins choose to kick him inside and compete at the left guard spot, with James Daniels playing the right guard spot. So hopefully we see him move to guard. That improves that area for as of right now, right? And just gives us some options. So him and Eichenberg competing right now. And I know the Dolphins are going to add more offensive line help in the draft for sure. I think they have to add some offensive line talent in the draft. And then I think they may revisit it after the draft and maybe go back through free agency and see what happens. Now, keep in mind, there are going to be guys who get cut during during training camp and during times like that we could bring in to compete or be backups. Honestly, I'd like to have our 5 guys set before we get into training camp. Like 5 guys we know who are legit, who can stay healthy for the most part and who can show that they're capable of, taking us the long haul as far as the offensive line goes. So that's what I like to see. Hopefully we can see, 5 guys going into training camp that are solidified at their positions. Right now, we don't have it. We only have 4 guys, in my opinion, at this point.
I mean, if Armstead comes back, you got Brewer at center, you got Daniels at one of the guard positions, and AJ at the other tackle. If we can draft another one of the top guards in this draft, this offensive line can rival the 2003 edition of the offensive line that we had here. It can rival that. And in 2023, we had the top offense in all of football. So, I mean, if they can go out and they can draft another top end guard, this offense can get back to cooking and doing the things that we needed to do to be a top offense.
Yeah.
And you seen what that looked like. 2023, people will blame that on Tua Fallon and us just shitting the bed at the end of the season. It really wasn't that. It really wasn't. Anybody that watches football and can be unbiased, we dealt with so many major injuries that final month and a half of the 2023 season that we just weren't able to come back from it. No team is going to be able to come back from the amount of injuries that we had at the end of the 23 season.
And I agree with that, but and people will say it's an excuse. I agree with you. We had too many injuries down the stretch. It just wasn't our year, right? But people are also going to say, hey, you can't use that excuse every year. And I don't think we've used that excuse every year, but guys do get hurt. And that's a gripe they have with Chris Grier as a GM, is Chris Dreer's often thrifty and goes for guys, not really targeting guys who've had injuries, but using that as leverage to get better deals on guys. So there's give and take in terms of that. At this point, I really want to see an offensive line who can stay healthy for the stretch of the season. Like, and I'm not saying all 5 guys need to stay healthy. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you have a stretch where one guy is out for 2 games, okay, we can manage that. We can't have a stretch for 2 or 3 games where 2 or 3 guys are out. That's just not possible to do, right? We don't have the backup linemen backup offensive linemen in the NFL are not good players, right? They aren't studs. There aren't many. There's not a lot of talent sitting behind guys in the NFL, right? So with that being said, we need to have our 5 to 6 rotational guys that constantly play. And we can't be getting down into the 8th, 9th guy on the offensive line, because that means we're just putting ourselves in a terrible, terrible position. Terrible position. Hey, Big Nick, check your phone. Big Nick, check your phone. Shout out to everybody in the chat. But what's your thoughts on our other signings, Big C? And let's talk about the receiver out of Tennessee. I was actually talking to my buddy last night, who's a Tennessee Titan fan. Yes, Westbrook Akine or whatever his name is.
I mean, I think he can be a decent red zone target for us. He's on the bigger side, 6'2", 200 plus pounds. I mean, it's not a bad signing. I mean, we've done nothing major, in my opinion. The safety position, there's a lot that I would have liked us to do. Yeah. There's still players out there, Justin Simmons. I think we should visit that. Justin Reed, what do you get? 10 million a year? We got to invest some money. Some money needs to be invested in good players. You can't get everybody from the bargain bin. You know what I mean? I understand you trying to not going out there getting the 20 million a year guys, but listen, you could have got some guys at a decent price. Like Greenlaw, 10 million a year. You know what I mean? Like, why are we not?
Do you feel like the Miami Dolphins are strapped to the point where they don't want to spend that money like that because they feel like they have other stuff going on they need to address, or do they feel like they have more holes they need to address with more players as opposed to spending it higher dollar averages on like 1 or 2 players? What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, we did need a lot of players. You know what I mean? We did need a lot. So I can understand, but we have the ability to get more cap space, and we're not making simple moves that we could create that cap space with. And I guess I don't understand it. I understand not messing with Tua's contract, even though that can create us the most cap space. But even like Jordan Brooks, we can turn his whole salary into a signing bonus. We don't have to extend him or anything. That's an extra $6-7 million right there.
Yeah.
Zach Sealer, we give him a contract extension. That saves us $5-6 million. You know what I mean? This money could be used to sign good players out of positions of need. You know what I mean? That could have brought us in a decent safety, a stud linebacker like Greenlaw, another decent guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, I just think we don't have the money. And I think the Miami Dolphins are being this thrifty because they don't want to restructure guys and kick the can down the road, because this could be like a final year for guys. And that's something I will agree on. Like, the Miami Dolphins are at a point where this is a crossroad. It's like, hey, do we keep kicking the can down the road on guys even though this is not working, or do we kind of man up, cut the bank off and say, hey, you got to win with what you got, and if you can't win with what you got, we're going to reset this thing. So
yeah, but even like I can understand not restructuring necessarily, but like the Brooks contract, you can just turn that into a signing bonus. You don't have to add any more years on. You don't have to push no money down the road. You can just create $6 million in cap space. Zach Sealer's been a good player for us. why not extend him?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I mean,
Why not?
and I
extend him?
think those are definitely things they could do, right? I think the Miami Dolphins, if I think they're not in a desperate mode right now, and I think if they get to the point where they need to do those things, I think that'll be done. But I think they're gonna go through the draft first and see how it lands, and then after the draft, hey, reassess where we are, go back to the bargaining table and start figuring out where we need to add guys and where we need to adjust contracts in order to make the moves we need to make. But I just don't think they're there yet. But I think they will get there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. It don't make a ton of sense to me since we're spending so much money in so many spots. But if you wanna go out there and win just enough games to maybe get into the playoffs, I mean,
Yeah.
we're moving in that direction.
And I hear you. I hear you. And shout out to the homie Big Nick. I wanted to get Big Nick in. Nick, what's good with you? Unmute your mic, man. You good?
Absolutely. What's going on, man? I'm not gonna take up much of your time. I'm out doing some big Nick stuff, but
Okay.
I just wanted to come in and just my goal in this community is to pull people back from the edge a little bit, right?
Okay.
I would never come up on any show and try to out expert the experts, right? I understand that Chris Grier and the rest of the staff, they have way more information than I have. So you never heard me criticize any move that they make. That's not for me to do. That's above my pay scale, right? However, you can fan how you want to fan. I'm cool with that. But when you bring up things like we could have got Mac Jones over Zach Wilson, what did Mac Jones say about that? Did Mac Jones want to come to the Dolphins? Did he have a say to come to the Dolphins? How do we know we didn't reach out and offer more to Mac Jones? We don't know these things, right? And then for you to bring up things like, that's so Dolphins, we go out and get this person who had injury history. Can you name a quality starter or depth piece that is a free agent that isn't coming with these types of baggage issues, injuries? People don't let good players go. Every team that signed a free agent signed it because that person was available. Very few signed that person because their other team couldn't pay them. We need to come back from the ledge a little bit and trust the people that are the experts.
And I like it, Big Nick. And I do understand both sides of it. I do err on the side where you are because I just feel like we don't know the details of what's going on. And for us to criticize, it's fair. Like, criticize how you want to criticize, fan how you want to fan. I just think the Miami Dolphins would have tried if they felt like Mac Jones was the fit for them, and at that price, I think they would have tried to get it done. I mean, if they felt like he was the guy who could have done it, right?
And does Mac Jones have a say? Do we have a say?
Yeah, I mean, that's the question too. Like,
that's guesswork with any player. You know what I mean? Did they offer it? Did he want to play here? I mean, obviously, we don't know those things. You know?
Do you think Mac Jones would want to come play with Tua? Do you think that's something he would, or do you feel like he would be like, nah, I don't want to be in that situation? I feel like it's going to be an Alabama, a Tua versus Mac Jones.
His shadow, right?
Do you think it would be? Do you think he would want to come to a situation like that, or would he want to shy? Would he shy away from that? And I'll go with Big C first. What's your thoughts?
I mean, if you're going to shy away from that, then you're not a real competitor. I don't want you here anyway. But I mean, if I was a backup quarterback, Miami would be the perfect place for me. You know what I mean? You know, you're probably going to see the field. You got a bunch of weapons to play with. You got an offensive-minded head coach. To me, Miami's the perfect spot for any backup quarterback. You're guaranteed. You're almost guaranteed to see the field. And and if you see the field, you're going to have an opportunity to steal that job. Why wouldn't you want to come to Miami?
I agree with you in terms of that. Like, honestly, that would be Miami would be the perfect scenario for a backup quarterback if you're trying to play. If you're trying to just chill, to collect the check and chill and not play, you will probably go somewhere else. You would probably go to a San Fran or somewhere else where, hey, Brock Purdy's the guy, and we just need you to, just in case, break glass in a case of an emergency type situation. So I can see that. But Big Nick, what's your thoughts? You think Mac Jones will want to come here and play alongside Tua?
Well, I think any Alabama quarterback that played directly behind Tua might have trepidations about coming to play behind him again, right? They played in his shadow at Alabama. They had to live up to where he was at Alabama, including Mac Jones. But you also got to consider that Zach Wilson and Mac Jones, were both, if I'm not mistaken, top 15 quarterbacks taken. Mac, I'm not sure exactly where Mac Jones was as far as taking up the quarterback, but he's coming off his rookie contract. He's a first-round quarterback. There's teams out there that need quarterbacks. We don't know if he want to come play behind what quote unquote the Dolphins said a franchise quarterback who's just now coming into the first year of a massive deal that they gave the Miami the tour. We don't know all of these inside things, but what I do know is that Zach Wilson was the number 2, and I'm not a Zach Wilson fan. Let's get that because I haven't seen him do anything, but that doesn't mean he wasn't the second overall pick with a cannon for an arm and very athletic as a moving quarterback, and who's shown when he was in San Francisco last year, even though he didn't get to show it in the regular season, that, hey, man, look at Zach Wilson in the preseason. Look at Zach Wilson going through training camp. A lot of people are talking about the improvement, and sometimes it's not the player, but it's who the player plays for. We know the Jets is where quarterbacks go to die. We know that. We know the Jets is one of the worst ran organizations in the NFL. You can't base somebody's NFL career off of a team like the Jets, a franchise like that. So I'm just trusting my team. That's all.
I hear you, Big Nick, and I agree with you. I mean, I like the thought process. There's a lot of people who kind of err on the side of caution with the Miami Dolphins, and that's probably because they feel like they've been burned, too many times, which I get it. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you or go back and forth with you. That's your thoughts on it. Now, looking at and I was kind of getting to the Westbrook signing from the Titans. So I talked to my buddy Josh, who's a big Titans fan. And he said the Westbrook kid is solid. He said he'll be a great possession receiver for us. Somebody who's that bigger body target, who can eat underneath across the field. And even, he has the ability to catch that 50-50 ball, catch the 50-50 ball, throw it up. And he said he's got a little bit of speed. So I always felt like the Miami Dolphins were missing versatility at the wide receiver position, right? And I say that because I feel like we have a lot of guys in the room who have the same skill set. The Tyreek Hill, the Jalen Waddle, the Malik. I feel like those guys have the same skill set. Not all the same speed or not all the same route running, but the same skill set. I feel like we need the versatility at the position to get guys who are bigger bodies, somebody similar to a Cedric Wilson or somebody like that who just gives us a little bit more versatility in the area. And I feel like Tua needs those guys to throw to. I feel like Tua really had success with Devontae Parker on the comeback routes, on the 50-50s, on the back shoulder throws. I feel like we don't have that anymore. We don't have that element. So I like to see that element kind of brought back. Big C, what's your thoughts on him?
Well, let me go, CB, because I got to leave. I'm actually out doing something. I just want to get my thoughts on that real quick and let you guys know that he is everything Devontae Parker was supposed to be. He has the size, he has the athleticism, he has about the same range speed of Devontae Parker. And last year, I believe it was under 50 targets, he caught 9 touchdowns. He's definitely a red zone target, and he's an upgrade at that number 3 position. And I'm happy with this signing. This is probably the best signing we've had so far this offseason.
Okay. All right. Look at Big Nick. Big Nick know what's going on, man. Big Nick, I appreciate you coming through, bro. I know I wanted to get you up real quick.
Y'all. I'm going to keep listening.
Hey, appreciate you, bro. Yeah, man. Shout out to the homie Big Nick. Big C, what's your thoughts on him? I know you gave some early thoughts, but what's your thoughts kind of on the assessment of him?
Yeah, I think he could be a nice 3rd, 4th receiver for us. Like I said, he's 6'2", 210, 15 pounds. He's going to be a red zone target. He's never caught a lot of passes in his career. He makes things happen when the ball goes in his direction. I think it's a nice piece. It's probably, besides, depending if James Daniels comes back from the injury and he plays to the level that he did before the injury, he's probably the second best pickup we've signed so far.
Now, interesting tidbit from Nick Westbrook Akine. I know I'm not pronouncing his name right, but he was drafted. Hey, drafted in 2020. He attended Indiana University, and interesting tidbit. He went to Lake Mary High School, so he's actually from like the Orlando, Florida area. So he's a local kid. Went to Lake Mary High School. Lake Mary High School is probably about 15, 20 minutes away from me. So shout out to the local kid coming in and being a Miami Dolphin. Maybe he wanted to just get back to Florida too. A great opportunity to get back to Florida since he is, a Florida boy through and through. Went to Lake Mary High School right up the street from me and where I'm at. So Lake Mary's like just north of Orlando. So shout out to that, man. Appreciate you. So now next one. Next signing, we've talked about Zach Wilson. I think we've ran that one into the ground a little bit. What do you think about the safety, Afute Melifonwu?
Afitu Melifonwu?
Yeah.
Afitu Melifonwu.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on him?
He's another one that's hard to grasp. He's just been injured so much. He's missed so much time. I think he's been injured more than he's played. He's got great size. He's versatile. He can play safety. He can play corner. He showed some glimpses when he put together a little bit of stretch of games that he could be a playmaker. It's just he doesn't have enough of a stretch where he can remain healthy. He just hasn't been healthy.
Okay. All right. That's
so
fair.
I mean, it could be a steal. It could, you know what I mean?
You just never know, right?
Yeah, we're playing bingo.
Definitely playing bingo. So, so he was drafted by the Lions in round 3 in 2021. He attended Syracuse University. Went to high school in Massachusetts, right? 6'3", 210. So he's got some good size on him, right? 6'3", 210. He's 25 years old, still fairly young for an NFL player. And interesting fact about him, he is of Nigerian descent. He played running back, wide receiver, and defensive back in high school. He also played basketball and lacrosse and ran track in high school. So the dude did a little bit of everything. So comes to the Miami Dolphins. It seems like he has good coverage skills and could be an asset when covering tight ends. So I feel like covering tight ends is something we need to do well, just because the tight end position has changed a lot. You got guys like Brock Bowers and, real pass catchers, real wide receiver / tight ends. So I feel like guys who can come in and erase those tight ends are going to be essential to the Miami Dolphins' success on defense too. So I think that's a solid signing. We'll see how it works out. And that's the thing. We have signings like this every year, where we pick up guys. We don't know what they're going to be. But we just hope they can come in and play well. That was Poyer. That's been some of the other safeties we've picked up. That's been a lot of guys. Now we also picked up Ashton Davis. Ashton Davis was drafted by the Jets in 2020. He was drafted in round 3. What's your thoughts on Ashton Davis, the signing from the Jets?
This one I'm not overly in love with. I just don't think he's that great of a player. I just think we should have went out and got someone with more talent, more experience. Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons is a very affordable piece that we could have plugged back there. And Justin Simmons had a down year last year, but I still think Justin Simmons would be better than Ashton Davis.
Okay.
I don't love the pick.
How old is Justin Simmons?
Oh man, he's got to be 31 maybe.
31. Ashton Davis is 28. So just a little bit of background on Ashton Davis. So 28 years old, attended Cal. He's from California. Remarkable athlete, won Pac-12. So he's a hurdler. So he won the 110 meter hurdle and named a second team All-American. So pretty athletic kid for sure. And we'll see how he works out. I think he was a good player coming out of college, really good player coming out of college, and hopefully this change of scenery, suits him, and we'll see how it works out. That's what we're doing. We're hoping these pieces fit well, and that Anthony Weaver can get these guys going in the right direction. Now looking at the other free agent signing, Larry Borum. I think we've talked about him briefly. That's the tackle. What's your thoughts on him?
I mean, he wasn't very good with the Bears at tackle. He's a big boy. He's a very big boy. I think he looks like he's quite out of shape, to be honest.
Bro, he's 6'5",
every
330.
picture or video I've seen, he looks out of shape.
Yeah,
I feel like they're going to try to move him into the guard position and see
maybe
what he can do there.
So Larry Borum attended Missouri. He was a 5th round pick for the Bears in 2021. He's from the Michigan area. 6'5", 333. Huge dude. 25 years old too. So not an old guy by any means. Give me 1 second. I got to take this call really quick.
Yeah, Fin fans. I listen. I just think that there was some better options out there. You can't do a crapshoot on everybody. You know what I mean? Not everybody can you hope and pray is gonna come in and play at the top level that they can possibly play at. You know what I mean? You got to bring some talented players in. The Eichenberg, you can't co-sign the Eichenberg. He was terrible for us, and I know he can play a bunch of positions, but he was terrible for us. Absolutely terrible. That was the worst signing of all free agency, and it makes us Dolphin fans question the real intent of this team.
I agree, man. So I'm not mad at you for feeling that way. I'm not mad at you for feeling that way. I just I think that's one signing, right? And it's re-signing.
But it's the one signing that he knew was going to get under this fan base's. You know what I mean?
But
is it really
maybe
worth it?
Maybe it's not about, and maybe that is the intent, to like slap the fan base in the face and say, "Hey, you guys don't run our team. Like we do what we want to do."
They've done that. They've done that in previous years, laughing at us when we were worried about the offensive line, and they were like, "Oh, you're worried about it more than us." Like you've already slapped us in the face. You've slapped us in the face by not producing, not giving us a backup quarterback when you know we got an injury-prone quarterback. How many times you got to slap the fan base in the face?
And bro, I agree with you. I do feel like it's a slap in the face of the fan base, and I think maybe it's intentional. I don't know, but the Miami Dolphins have their way of doing things, and I don't get paid to do this. I don't get paid to sign players or do whatever. I'm gonna let them do their job, and we can criticize what we want to criticize. I think that's fair. If you feel like it's a slap in the face, that's your thoughts on it. And that's fair. I think a lot of people feel that way. I think a lot of people feel like, bro, you did this on purpose because you know that we don't like Liam Eichenberg. You brought him back. But keep in mind, he doesn't have to there's no guarantee that he makes the roster. So you got to keep that in mind too. It's still early in the process. And I think you shouldn't be overreacting to a $1.4 million backup center being signed for the Miami Dolphins. I feel like there's bigger fish to fry, in my opinion. But I get where you at.
Well, that's my problem with the move. Like, why are we even worried about Eichenberg? Why are we talking to Eichenberg when we still have so many holes on this team? If we need a camp body later on, all right, call Liam Eichenberg. He's still going to be available. Trust me. Why are we dealing with him right now, the first week of free agency? Like he's a top priority for us.
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. So real quick, I wanted to let me go to YouTube real quick. I want to post your channel because I want to post the link to your channel. I want people to go subscribe to your channel. I appreciate everybody coming out and checking us out. We've been live for about an hour, going on an hour and a half now. But I'm gonna put up Big C's link to his channel. You guys go over there and subscribe. He's currently at 632 subscribers. We want to get him to 700, man. Let's get him to 700 subscribers. Let's help him build his channel. I see a lot of the homies in the chat. I see the homie Shake Money in here. Says, what's good, everyone? Fins up. I appreciate you guys coming through. TDR in the building. Shout out to my homie, the Dolphins Realtor, man. That's my guy. He's been rocking with me. Mudbone's been rocking with me. Gene is new, but I rock with Gene. Shout out to Gene. Shout out to Scotty. I feel like Scotty's new. I feel like Scotty hasn't been around. Joe Levesque has been here for a while. Cat for Life is a day oneer. Cat for Life is definitely a day oneer. Ryan AP, Steve. Shout out to Steve. I appreciate you coming through. I think Steve's got a channel too. I think a lot of these guys got some content. Y'all gotta go check these guys out. Be sure to check out my homie Big C. Click that link, go over there, subscribe to his channel. We're trying to get him to 700 subscribers. Hey, what's the giveaway at 1K?
1K, we got $2,000 in cash. We got an autographed Merino jersey, the white throwback, and we got a Mike Tyson glove autographed and signed.
Bro, did you say 2K in cash?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Bro, 2K in cash?
I got the 500 subscribers that gave away $2,000, so I didn't think I could go less than that.
Man, so my man just said, hey, let's up the ante. We're going to run it back. He's doing $2,000 at 1K subscribers, man. Y'all got to go subscribe. I'm subscribed. I'm trying to win the 2K. I need it. Let's get it, man. But yeah, man, y'all can check me and Big C out, man. We're definitely going to do some more stuff, start cranking up a little bit more often. Where are we at in terms of super chats? We had 2 super chats. Shout out to the homie A Burgos for becoming a member for 4 months, and A Burgos with a 25 piece. I appreciate you, homie. Shout out to the homie A Burgos for showing love in the chat. Hey, when we doing this again, Big C? When we doing this again?
Like I've been talking to you on the side, and I think we should do a show once a week together. Come up with something, you know what I mean?
Hey, what y'all?
I'm
think?
down whenever you got the time.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely gonna start finding more time. I'll be traveling to Atlanta next weekend, but during the week, this week, I want to try to do something. So I want to try to do something this week, and then, just coming up to the draft, I want to start talking about some draft prospects and what we're looking at in terms of the draft. Who are you thinking we draft in that number 1 spot? And let's go position, and we don't have to go player. What position do you think we're going to target with that number 1 overall pick for us at 13?
So what position do I want us to target, or what position do I think Chris Grier is going to target?
Let's do both. Let's do what position you want to target and what position you think Chris Grier is looking at in the Miami Dolphins.
Listen, I really want another offensive guard, but the cupboard's so bare on defensive tackle right now. If we can get Calais to come back somehow, I'm going offensive guard. Maybe even trading back a little bit, maybe picking up an extra 2nd round pick, an extra 3rd round pick. But if Membu's there from Iowa, the guard, I think he's the pick at 13. If Chris Grier's picking, I think there's a good chance we go cornerback. He loves his corners. Listen, we need another
you can never get
corner.
You can never get enough corners. You can never get enough edge rushers, according to the Miami Dolphins. Now you can never.
I'd probably try to trade for one if I could, a reliable starter. But I could see Chris Grier going corner all day. Right now, we got either Storm Duck or Cam Smith starting over at the other corner opposite of Jalen. That's not going to work. You know what I mean?
Did we bring Cater? Did we bring Cater back, or Cater got signed somewhere else?
Yeah, but he's playing the slide. We put him outside before, and he was terrible.
Yeah,
he's gonna be in the slot. I think we signed him to a tender deal where people can offer him something. But
hey, look at Glenn supporting the channel. Look at Glenn. Look at Glenn showing up and showing out, man. Shout out to Glenn, man. He says you.
Listen, I was trying to get on that Dolphins roundtable, Glenn. Listen, I was on the phone trying to make it happen, and people had other arrangements. You know what I mean?
Hey, shout out to Glenn. He says you're supposed to be doing a show once a week called Dolphins Roundtable. Hey, we're gonna make that happen, Glenn. We're definitely gonna make that happen. I got you. So we're still gonna do that. Maybe that's on the docket for Tuesday for us. Maybe you get a show from me and Big C at some point, but we definitely will be cranking up and doing something more often, man. Glenn, I appreciate the support. We got to go up for the homie Glenn one time for the one time. Shout out to Yes, sir. Hey, shout out to the homie Shake Money. He says, a member for 17 months. My dog came in and put it up for over a year. Shout out to my bro, Shake Money. He says, welcome back, CB83. Long overdue. Hey, Shake, you know I appreciate you. That's my bro in real life. We're going to get together real soon. Link for an old fashioned or a drink. You already know what time it is, Shake, man. I appreciate you. We got 100 people watching right now. We have 100 people watching. What I need you guys to do is I need you to do two things. I need you to, if you're on Twitter, you got to come over to YouTube for me and hit the like button for me. You got to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You got to subscribe to Big C. You got to subscribe to him and what he has going on. You got to support his channel, what he's got going on. You got to punch the like button over there. Please do us that favor. It means a lot to us. We don't ask for much. We just ask that you come hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
If I get to 700 today, I'll be giving away this Orange Crush autographed Javon Holland jersey.
Ooh, he said
he signed with the Giants, but
he's giving away a Javon Holland sign joint. If he gets
Orange
to
Crush.
700, come on, the Orange Crush joint. Come on, man. Y'all gotta, man. How many subscribers, my man? He was at 632. He's currently at 635. Come on, man. I need us. Hey, let's go over there and hit that like button. We're gonna get him. Hey, by the end of the weekend, we gotta have him at 700, man. By that Tuesday show, by that Tuesday roundtable, you should be giving that jersey away, bro. Let's do it.
That's a fair deal.
Let's get to that. Let's get to that 700, man. I appreciate y'all. Let me put this in the chat real quick. Hey, punch that link right there. Go over there, subscribe to his channel. Shout out to the Crybabies and the Wolfpackers. Shout out to all y'all out there who cry about the Miami Dolphins and who have fits and get upset. It's fair. Y'all, I acknowledge your feelings, right? I'm acknowledging your feelings. I'm acknowledging your gripe with the Miami Dolphins and Chris Grier and what's going on. Hey, the fans, look, Teron Armstead said it the other day on the Dive Bar podcast. He understands the fans' gripe. He knows we want to win playoff games. He knows they've come short and fell short where he felt like they should have been better. So they are trying. They are digging deep to try to get us a win, a playoff win. Mike McDaniel's got to figure this thing out. Does he get it done?
I hope so.
Okay. I hope so. I hope Mike McDaniel and the Dolphins, the front office, the team, the players can figure it out, right the ship and get it done. Do I feel like we can't win with Tua? No, I don't feel like we can't win with Tua. I feel like if you do what you need to do and he stays healthy, Tua's got to protect himself. And let me preface this by saying Tua's got to do a better job of protecting himself, right? You got to put your big boy pants on. And when you roll out of the pocket, you got to slide or do something to protect yourself. Get out of bounds. Go in the fetal position. Brady did it all the time. Like, bro, we got to do a better job of that. And Tua, fat Tua, chubby Tua, that don't bother me, right? That don't bother me. Tua, you just got to stay healthy, dog. I don't care what you do in the offseason. You can drink all the beer you want to. You can go on all the vacations you want to. You can do it as long as you're playing football well and staying healthy. You good with me, dog. You can play golf, you can live it up. I don't care. But you got to find a way to stay on the field. And if you can't find a way to stay on the field, then people are going to look at you sideways. And they should. They should. They have every right to. Because a quarterback that misses 6 to 7 games a season isn't serviceable for us. It's not. So if he's going to be that guy this coming year and he can't stay healthy, the Miami Dolphins will find a way to move on from him. And I'm fine with that. People call me a tourineur, but I'm fine with that. If the dude can't stay healthy and he can't stay on the field, then the Miami Dolphins got to find another guy. We got to move on. We got to draft somebody. We got to sign somebody. We can figure it out. We figured it out before, right? But there's a lot of guys not winning right now. Josh Allen ain't won a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson ain't won a Super Bowl. They've had some good seasons, but they haven't been Super Bowl winning seasons. So you got to continue to build a team. Do what you can this year. You got to it this year. You stuck with them, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Big C, final thoughts.
Just hopefully we can. Chris Grier can nail this draft. I mean, that's what it's looking like. It's coming down to. We have to hit on 3 or 4 of these draft picks, and have them be day one contributors right away. And hopefully some good players get released that we can bring in on bargain deals. And hopefully we can get back to that 2023 recipe where we can be competing for a division title. We can be competing for a home playoff game. And, if we get that first home playoff game, anything can happen. Anything can happen once we get to that position. So I still got faith that, the Liam Eichenberg, they got me a little bit. It put me in a little bit of despair feeling, but I'm going to try to fight through that and continue to have hope that Chris Grier's got a game plan somewhere that has us competing this year.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. And I had a goal of 5 super chats today. We are currently at 4. We need one more super chat, and it's an automatic show on Tuesday if we get one more super chat. So shout out to everybody in the chat. A Burgos became a member for 4 months. He had a $25 donation. Glenn came in with a $5 donation supporting the channel, and then Shake Money with 17 months of membership. So we have 4 so far, but we were looking for that 5th to have that automatic show Tuesday. But we're definitely going to crank up sometime within the week. Big C, I appreciate you coming through, bro. It's always fun, always a good time. Looking forward to the next one. Hopefully we can gather up TD and Miss fans for the Dolphins roundtable. We really do have, I think, the best team show, the best team roundtable on the AFC East roundtable. So I appreciate you guys supporting that too. Shout out to TD, shout out to Miss Fins, Big C. Support those channels. Support everybody, man. It's a bunch of Dolphins YouTube content creators out there. Go like and sub to everybody. Don't live in your box of people just, telling you what you want to hear. Shout out to the homie Chef Jew in the building. I got to put this up by Chef Jew real quick. Chef Jew just is always showing love, always supporting. Where did you put it at, Chef? No homo. There it is. Subscribe, like, share, and donate. Become a member today. Your seat at the table is waiting. Join the family. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Hey, look at Shake Money. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Give Tua the last dragon. Hey, they want to see it. They want to see it. Get Tua Leroy. Here we go. Let's rock it.
All right, Leroy. Who's the one and only Mac? I damn. Let me go, motherfucker. Let me go.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Shout out to the Wayne D Experience. H says, hey, CBD3, we need you with consistency with showtimes. I do need to be more consistent. Hey, I get this from Big C every day. I just want y'all to know Big C is a big reason why I did this show today. Bro's been on me, and I appreciate him being on me because honestly, out of sight, out of mind for me. I got a lot going on. My son is waiting on me right now to go drop him off at his friend's house. Like, I have a lot of shit going on, and sometimes I'll just be like, oh, well, nobody's doing nothing. I'll just, not do it. But Big C was on me like, bro, come on. Like, let's get going. Let's get cranking. He was like, yo, let's do it. So I jumped up here and did it. And that's just what you need sometimes. That's that peer pressure you need. That iron sharpens iron. He like, bro, let's get it. Let's do it. What the fuck are we doing? What are we waiting on? So that's why I'm up here. But I appreciate y'all. Wayne D with the $2 donation says, hey, give us the tool last dragon. Shake Money says, let's freaking go. And then Ralph Courtwright says, I got 5 on it. So we are definitely having a show Tuesday. I don't care what time it is, whether it's got to be 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whatever it is, I will be giving you guys a show on Tuesday. So look out for that. It's coming Tuesday night at some point. Maybe it's before the AFC's roundtable. Maybe it's after, but we will be live. So I appreciate everybody coming through. Shout out to the homie Big C. I appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, no problem, brother. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Hey, appreciate you guys coming through. Appreciate all the donations, all the people who support the channel. Burgos again. My boy in real life. Glenn, my boy in real life. Shake, my boy in real life. Wayne D, my boy in real life. Hey, Wayne D, I need that intro song too, bro. What you working on? I know you in the stew cooking. I need that. I need that. Shake Money, my bro in real life, and Ralph. Hey, one of the first winners of the giveaways on here. Hey, Ralph won a pair of Air Jordan Concord 11s. He won the Air Jordan Concords 11 on this show. Send them to him. He got to be rocking them. Shout out to Ralph Courtwright, man. I appreciate y'all. So, hey, be on the lookout. Tuesday is happening. Right now, we have 115 people watching. Support the channel. Like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all. Y'all already know what it is. I'm out. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.